This will be an audio check that we have. This will be an audio check only. Checking to make sure that we have proper audio for the night tonight. So stay with us as we audio check things out. Check 1 2, check 1 2, 1 2 3, check 1 2, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, check 1 2 3, 1 2 3. We will have Grand Forks Central and Fargo Shanley coming up here at the completion of the junior varsity matchup, and they have informed me that if they need to, they'll start early, although I don't know that that's going to be a thing, but they said that they will start early if they have the opportunity tonight. So keep that in mind, just in case those of you are out there and want to get involved with a little bit of an early start tonight. I mean, no one's going to argue about that, right? So, again, stay with us, and we'll have more coming up here. You'll be watching the JV matchup going throughout the course here. But thanks a lot for being with us tonight. Metcalf was able to hold that, but they stayed with the puck back behind the net. Blue got it, took a chance out in front to Zeal with a tap in that will score. Parks out of the shotgun, takes the snap, stepping, looking, back shoulder fade to Mackey, and he catches it for a Red River touchdown.
It's time for the best in local sports coverage with KNOX Live Sports and News Radio 1310 KNOX.
Puck goes free to the high slot, picked up Lovejoy, wrister, and he scores. Reardon working right side, defended the entire way. A stop by Dookie. She looks into J.C. Reardon, the high-low is there.
The following is a presentation of KNOX Live Sports, presented by Rivard's Turf and Forage and Grand Trailer Sales.
Off to the right, down to the doorstep. Hoganson, a backhander, he scores. What a play for Griffin Hoganson.
Let's go live to tonight's presentation.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We had a very, very inspiring junior varsity finish here tonight as Fargo Shanley was down 18 points, came back to eventually grab a very brief lead in the second half. Central wins on a basket with about a second and a half to go in the game, and they hold on against a 3 at the buzzer. And now we're ready to go to varsity basketball. We welcome you tonight to Grand Forks Central High School and our coverage of high school basketball on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports this evening here in Grand Forks. Ryan Cunningham with you this evening as Fargo Shanley comes to town to take on Grand Forks Central. Well, it's been a tough year for the Knights so far. Fargo Shanley has had their share of struggles as well. They're both trying to find a way to end some of that coming up here tonight in a matchup that could have some implications in the second half of the year in the EDC. Central's off to an 0-6 start inside the conference, 2-8 overall. Fargo Shanley's 2-4 inside the league, 2-7 overall. So these two teams only separated by a half a game in the overall category, but Fargo Shanley are now resting a number 6 spot in the Eastern Dakota Conference. And for Central, they're going to have to start making some moves as they come into this one tonight. Now, of course, by now the story's out. Brooklyn Bruce not able to be with the team right now for Central, but we're looking forward to his return. And he was averaging 31 points per game for Grand Forks Central before his absence. So Central's trying to get it done by developing some additional weapons. And the hope is that when Brooklyn Bruce returns, and they'll have one entire circuit through the Eastern Dakota Conference with Brooklyn Bruce as an eligible player, all of a sudden they'll have some extra development in some of their additional weapons, and they could be a formidable opponent in the second half of the year. But to justify that, you'd like to get a win the first time around in this EDC without him in the lineup to show that you are here and you're here to stay. They're going to take on a Fargo Shanley team tonight that has a couple of top-end scorers and very good balance in their starting lineup. 4 men will start tonight that average in double figures for Fargo Shanley, led by Tommy Baumgartner, who's pulling down 19 points and 9.9 rebounds per game. So this one should be a fun one tonight. We're looking forward to having it here at Grand Forks Central High School. We bring it to you tonight courtesy of our premier sports partners. They include Rivard's Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks, and you can find them online at rivards.com. And it's brought to you tonight by Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. Big East Grand Forks Green Wave fans. And we're looking forward to having this one here tonight at Grand Forks Central in downtown Grand Forks. It's Central and Fargo Shanley coming up in our pregame report, presented this evening by True North Equipment and Signature Graphics and Apparel. We'll take you through the lineups in this one. We'll take you through the standings in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Dan Carlson stopped by for a chat tonight. We'll have a look at what Dan has to say in our pregame report as well. And our starting lineups in basketball should be up here in about 20 minutes or so as we start late tonight with some drama in that junior varsity matchup. But better late than never is the old saying, right? It's Central and Fargo Shanley, the Deacons and the Knights from Central High School tonight on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. And we're back with more next.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need: turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school basketball tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports this evening. Ryan coming in with you downtown in Grand Forks at Central High School. Luca Carpenter has our videography work tonight as Central will play host to Fargo Shanley. Was about to say a West Fargo in there. We've had too many games in the hockey side of things against the West Fargo schools as of late, including Red River going down, getting a road win the other night against West Fargo Cheyenne. Central is on the road tonight at Fargo Davies in high school hockey, and we have a chance to be here with high school basketball tonight as Central comes home to take on Fargo Shanley. Our pregame report is brought to you tonight by our friends at Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And also brought to you tonight by True North Equipment, true to your values, ready to serve you. 10 locations all throughout the Red River Valley with those John Deere products that you've come to know and love generationally. We've got them for you at our friends at True North Equipment. Now, as we talk about what comes up tonight as far as our standings are concerned, let's take a look at Drive for the Title that we have for you this evening. And Drive for the Title shows that West Fargo Horace, Fargo Davies, and West Fargo are the pace setters that we have in the Eastern Dakota Conference, at least coming into this point. We're not quite to the halfway point yet. You play 16 games in the league. There are 8 opponents that you have to play, so you've got 16 in the double round robin. And right now, most teams have played 5 or 6 games as far as the league is concerned. So about 2/3 of the way through the first circuit, you could say. West Fargo Horace 9-1 overall, 5-0 in the league. Fargo Davies 7-2 in the league, overall, and 5-0. Now the West had some success against the East in the first weekend of the year. We found that out the hard way when we watched some of those games. The WDA has got a lot of basketball talent this year. So when you see Horace and Davies with a loss and 2 losses respectively, but undefeated in the league, that's where those losses came from. West Fargo's 4-1, Cheyenne is 3-2. That's the top half of the league. Those would be the 4 home teams in the opening round of the tournament. Grand Forks, Red River, 2-3 right now in the conference. The Shanley team is 2-4. And then you've got South, you got North, and you have Central going 2-4, 1-4, and 0-6. For Grand Forks Central, they're obviously playing this first leg of the conference knowing that they're missing one of their best players right now, and so it's a waiting process to get that player back. That's the former Brooklyn Bruce. Will have an opportunity to play in the second half of the Eastern Dakota Conference season. When he rejoins the team, this Central team will be very different. But as we mentioned, you want to see if you can get a league win in this first half and not put yourself in the biggest hole that you could possibly have. And so that's why games like this one, you're taking on a team right now in Shanley that's 2-7, 2-4 overall, even with some good high-end talent. Is this an opportunity for Central to try to crack into the win column inside the league tonight? That's one of those that they'll be looking at rather closely this evening. But again, Horace Davies standing on top of the conference at 5-0. West Fargo's 4-1. Cheyenne is 3-2. Those are the top seeds, if you will. Everyone else with a losing record in the league. Central's 0-6, 2-8 overall. Shanley's 2-7 overall and 2-4 inside the Eastern Dakota Conference. And that is a look at drive for the title that we have for you this evening as we bring this to you from Central High School downtown in Grand Forks tonight. Up next, Dan Carlson, the head coach of Grand Forks Central, joining us for our pregame conversation. Those coaches' comments brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, and they're coming up in just a couple of moments, so do stay with us. This is our coverage of high school basketball. It's Central and Shanley on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with Harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you, and Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school basketball tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports from downtown Grand Forks tonight. It's Central playing host to Fargo Shanley in high school boys basketball tonight. Pre-game report brought to you tonight by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And brought to you tonight by True North Equipment, true to your values. Ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. Dan Carlson is the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights boys basketball team. He joined us for our pregame conversation tonight. Our comments with the head coach brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They're your Kubota dealers with a full line of Kubota products to help you do your very best work. You'll find those Kubota products across from Simplot in Grand Forks. Skid steer loaders, diggers, movers, you name it, they have it for you. When you have to finish off that do-it-yourself project, any power tool you need, they have it in their main tool shop just a couple of blocks south of Gateway on North Washington. And they've got a service department to make it run again. Acme Equipment and Acme Tools bringing you our coach's conversation tonight with Dan Carlson, the head coach of the Central Knights. Coach, you've made some strides throughout the course of this thing. I mean, it seems like when you take a look at the numbers on paper and you see what you've done, you're getting closer to turning your corner right now. You have to feel like there's some success right around the corner for this team.
Yeah, we've had some ups and downs going through this stretch, and Shanley's kind of in the same boat we are, so we talked about that last night, that a lot of the games that they've played have been similar to the games we've played with certain teams, so I think we're in for a good competitive battle tonight, so I think it gives us a chance to have some success.
Coach, when you take a look at these two teams on paper, it seems like you maybe have one more body than they do. They have a little bit higher scoring in talent than you have. But that may be kind of picture perfect for you. You like to win it on the defensive side of the floor first. Do you feel like you can, sort of impose your will on this one tonight, at least at times?
Yeah, it'll be a big part of it. They got, a decent starting five that they can all go out and shoot the ball and score it. So we're going to have to be aware of that. And I think defensively, if we play well and we force them off the line and get them to take some tough shots, I think that'll play in our favor. And then we're going to have to rebound the ball like usual.
Baumgartner and Perkowitz, those seem to be the guys that they're going to come after you with tonight. So tell us how you go about putting together a defensive scheme. Do you have players that you think can take them one-on-one? Do you have to do some helping on one of those two players?
Well, Delorme, is going to guard one of them, and he's as good a defensive guard as there is out there. So I think he'll do a good job. And then it's a matter of, we'll try, Tyson Vanyo and Chonas on, the other one and see how we go from there. But yeah, we're going to have to bring some help. But we got to be careful because, if we leave their shooters to go help, then, especially on strong side, they're going to knock down shots. So we got to be aware of that. I think our transition defense is probably going to be the big key. They like to get out and go and put up shots right off, out of transition. So we're going to have to be very on top of that tonight.
And Coach, one of the key statistics that sometimes we dig into and find, you've been outscored a ton in the second half of games this year. The first half, you've been very competitive with everybody. How do you go about making some adjustments to make sure that you have some firepower left to go after halftime?
Yeah, and that's kind of part of it, and we're not super deep, and we're trying to play a few more guys to see if we can, run a few more guys through and get some of our guys a little bit of a break and then play through the second half. And we've talked about it, and I think it's just something that we need to be aware of and make a point of being efficient offensively.
Those comments earlier tonight from Dan Carlson, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights boys basketball team, joining us here in our pregame report. And again, this team trying to weather the storm through this first half of the conference season and trying to find the matchups that work for them as well. And the matchups in this one are going to be interesting. When we take a look at our tools for the game coming up a little bit later on in our pregame report, you're going to see that, yes, there's some talent out there that can get some scoring done for Fargo Shanley. Central, though, plays a little bit deeper down their bench, perhaps, with perhaps 7 players in their main rotation compared to 6 for Fargo Shanley. Neither of these teams is particularly deep, and that will be one of the concerns for both of them coming into tonight. Those are the conversations that we have tonight with Dan Carlson. They're brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, your Kubota dealers, each and every night with our coaches' conversation here on KNOX Live Sports. We're going to come back, take a look at those starting lineups, and get ready for the start of this one this evening. Still to come, our tools of the game and our keys to the game. And those will be on the way in just a bit. This is our coverage of high school basketball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school basketball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports tonight. Fargo Shanley is at Grand Forks Central for a contest inside the Eastern Dakota Conference. Looking forward to bringing it to you this evening. Before we go any further with our coverage here this evening, we'll have our national anthem for tonight as our crowd begins to stand at attention here at Central High School, downtown Grand Forks. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. National anthem performed here tonight at Fargo, or actually I should say Grand Forks Central High School tonight, as Fargo Shanley comes to town tonight to take on Grand Forks Central this evening. Let's take a look at our starting lineups that we have for you tonight. First of all, our starters for the Fargo Shanley Deacons this evening. The guards coming out tonight will be Michael Holcroft, a 6'2 junior, Jacob Pergorovich, a 6'1 sophomore, and also at guard tonight will be Jacob Kraft, a 6-foot senior. The forwards are Tommy Baumgartner, a 6'4 junior, and Sean Cutterba, a 6-foot senior. The head coach of the Fargo Shanley Deacons is Stefan Weber. He's assisted by Kevin Booth and Luke Rusted and Dan Savaggio. Tonight for Grand Forks Central, the guards will be Brayden DeLorme, a 5'11 senior. Also at guard, Caden Jonas, a 5'10 senior. Tonight, as a guard as well, coming onto the floor will be Carter Larson, a 6'1 sophomore. The forwards are Tyson Vanyo, a 6'2 junior, and Carter Bossert, a 6'3 senior. Dan Carlson, the longtime head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, will manage the personnel tonight once again for Grand Forks Central. Let's take a look at our tools of the game that we have for you this evening. Tools of the game brought to you tonight by State Farm Insurance. Logan Karski, your agent in Grand Forks. He's brand new to Grand Forks, and Logan Karski is ready to help put together a pregame and a game plan for you when it comes down to protecting what it is that you need. Home, auto, farm, life, health. He has a plan for you and a great game plan at State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. As you can see for Fargo Shanley, they've got very good scoring on the top end, led by Tommy Baumgartner's 19 points per game. He also pulls down 9.9 rebounds per game. Jacob Pergorovich at 16.6 points per game. Michael Holcroft at 10-6, and right behind is Sean Cutterbutt at 10 points per game even. So the Deacons will put 4 starters on the floor tonight that average in double figures. For Grand Forks Central, in the absence of Brooklyn Bruce, Brayden DeLorme has taken over as the go-to target, and Carter Larson has become the dependable understudy. DeLorme coming in at 17.4 points per game, Larson at 13.2 points per game. But that's where Central's looking for some additional help to step in that situation, because Caden Jonas at 5'7", there's a couple of 5-point scorers, a couple of 3-point scorers, but what Central's looking for is one more option. However, as we look through that Shanley lineup, we do see about 6 players that play the majority of their minutes. Grand Forks Central has about 7 players that can step in, and so there might be a slight depth advantage for Grand Forks Central tonight, despite the fact that Fargo Shanley might have the higher end scoring talent. Deacons will move from our left to right to get started tonight. They're in black. Grand Forks Central move from our right to left. They're in white with the maroon this evening. And we'll see Tommy Baumgartner go right to the center circle to take the jump tonight against Grand Forks Central's Carter Bossert. So it's Baumgartner versus Bossert to get this one started here tonight downtown at Central High School. Thank you for joining us tonight for our coverage of high school basketball. Tap of the ear controlled by Fargo Shanley, and Jacob Kraft will bring this into the front court. We hear the Deacons love to get out in transition. So once we see a couple of possessions here, when they start to stretch the floor, that'll be something that will be pretty good for them. Kraft to the basket, missing just short on his opening possession. And Central comes up with a rebound in the form of Tyson Vanyo. So the Knights will come to the front court for their first possession. DeLorme leading the charge. Handing back off to the baseline. Larson coming back to the top of the key. Ball rotates back left corner to Vanyo. Vanyo a stop. Back to DeLorme. Puts down the dribble, then picks it up. Tries a three. Came up a little short. An offensive rebound for the Knights. Put back spinning away. That came up strong from Tyson Vanyo. Fargo Shanley will clear the rebound. They're back into the front court, and there's the transition game. Spin move and a baseline fall away. It comes up short from Jacob Perkorovitz. He'll be on his way to the foul line for the Deacons. Or will he? No, he will not. Be out of bounds off of Fargo Shanley. No foul here. And Grand Forks Central will get possession of the basketball. Some pressure put on by the Deacons. It appears to be token pressure. They'll play it player to player on the way back up the floor for Grand Forks Central. Jonas dribbling towards the left corner, handing back off for DeLorme. DeLorme will flex back towards the right. Vanyo looking towards the corner. Jab step by Carter Larson off that right sideline. Back to DeLorme. Shot clock approaching 10. DeLorme stopping on the left block. Turns it back off to the top. Ball taken there by Carter Bossert. 5 seconds to shoot. 3 ball on the way from Jonas that ends up short. But ball snatched underneath. However, it did not draw iron, and Central didn't get a shot off in time. The 3 from Larson rimmed all the way around the hoop. Wouldn't go through, but it would not have counted had it fallen. A shot clock violation by Grand Forks Central will give the ball back to Fargo Shanley. Minute 15 seconds into the game. Nothing on the scoreboard as of yet. Deacons into the front court. Jacob Perkorovitz will bring it up towards the right, finding Michael Holcroft. Holcroft reverses back left side. Baumgartner looking for an opportunity. Hard drive, offensive foul coming up against Baumgartner. Shoulder came down a little bit from Baumgartner. That was enough to induce the charge, and the Central Knight defense will force a turnover from Fargo Shanley. Neither team looking crisp as of yet on the offensive side of things, but you can see the game plan for the Deacons. Run the floor and penetrate to the basket. They haven't settled for the outside jump shot as of yet. They want to try to penetrate the lane and see if they can do something inside with that high percentage look. Vanyo on the top of the key, looking right side for Carter Bossert. Left wing Jonas underneath. They go into Vanyo and he'll score the opening points tonight. Tyson Vanyo gets a look inside. 2-0. Grand Forks Central on top on the all-true scoreboard. Baumgartner spinning towards his left foot, kicks it out, and a 3 on the way from the left wing by Cutterbuzz, an air ball. But the rebound on the weak side pulled down by Holcroft. He'll get it back to Baumgartner. Tough jump stop, came up a little strong, and a rebound foul coming up that will keep the ball with Fargo Shanley. Balling it up in the hands of Michael Holcroft, and he'll be fouled by one of the Knights. Foul will go against Caden Jonas, his first, and Fargo Shanley will grab the basketball and play it in just over 2 minutes into the matchup. Cutterbud, left wing, turning back towards the left corner. Able to find Jacob Kraft, back to Cutterbud. Stop, he'll come back to the right side, finding Michael Holcroft. Holcroft rotating back towards the left sideline. Now a crossover dribble towards his right hand. Went back towards the left corner, however. Perkorovitz trying to drive. Kick back to the left side. 3 on the way, falling away from Jacob Kraft. That won't fall. And a rebound battled for between 2 Deacons. Holcroft pulls it back. Baumgartner from the top of the key. A step back to the foul line and an off-balance jump shot. Misses a bit short. And Tyson Vanyo comes down with the rebound. 2-0 Central. And the Knights are back into the front court with the basketball, looking for more. Jonas on the right side. Sends it back top of the key, finding Larson. Now DeLorme out of the left corner. Got a seal, but did not take the 3, didn't like the look from the corner. DeLorme will rotate back towards the top of the key. Sends this back to Carter Larson. Larson stepping right, got to the right elbow. Turns back towards the wing. Jonas with the basketball. Between the legs, hard take to the foul line. Fall away jump shot for Jonas ends up short. And the rebounds run down by Tommy Baumgartner for Fargo Shanley. Still just 2-0. We played over 3 minutes of first half basketball. Central the lead. Kraft to the basket, scoring. That'll tie things up. Again, more dribble penetration. That's what it's been all about for Fargo Shanley in the first few minutes of this. They obviously believe in it, trying hard to get to the glass. And it's a 2-2 tie between Central and Fargo Shanley. On top, ball taken up, Carter Larson. He'll rotate towards the right corner. And down that sideline was able to find his way to Tyson Vagno. Vagno returns it back to Bossert on a rotation top of the key. Back to the near side for Carter Larson. Trying to dribble free of Cutterbus. Steps back, takes a three-point shot, rolls off the front of the rim, and Baumgartner another rebound. He's got a couple of those already. Averages just under 10 a game, 9-9, nearly a double-double player coming into the night. He'll drive, Baumgartner gets the glass, and Shanley has the lead. Baumgartner makes it a 4-2 lead for Fargo Shanley. A little better than 4 minutes into the opening half on our All-True scoreboard. Jonas crossing his dribble back to his right hand. Looks back top of the key for Carter Larson. DeLorme cuts baseline. They can't find him. DeLorme will come back and take the basketball on the outside. Reverses back to Jonas on the right wing. Shot clock's at 10. Jonas taking a look in. Bossert rotates out front, looks to set a screen. Jonas dribbles into it. Shot clock at 5. Jonas got inside. An offensive foul. Will wave off his shot and didn't go in. Jonas now with 2, so that depth is going to be tested early for Grand Forks Central. And the answer is going to be Tayshawn Scott, junior varsity player, 5'8", and a freshman. And this is going to be an early entry for Tayshawn Scott coming into the game to replace Caden Jonas for Grand Forks Central. 4-2 with Grand Forks Central trailing by 2 to Fargo Shanley. Deacons of the basketball, Jacob Kraft. He'll look top of the key for Sean Cutterba. Cutterba stepping right, hands it back towards the right wing. Holcroft reversing back to Cutterba. Soft touch on a 3, it's missed, and a rebound foul. One of the Deacons is on the back of Tayshawn Scott. That will go against Michael Holcroft. His first and the second on Fargo Shanley tonight. 4-2 Deacon lead. Very low scoring, lethargic offensively here in the opening half of basketball. Scott with a spin move, trying to get free. Got back to the left side, tried a tough shot that was high off the glass. Ball's on the floor, and there's a battle for a loose basketball. It'll turn into a held ball, and the arrow will favor Central. So the Knights will have the basketball and the benefit of the possession arrow. And the inbounds play for Central will be from Braden DeLorme. DeLorme takes the look as they scatter in front. Ball comes back towards the left side. Larson dribbling back top of the key, able to find DeLorme off to the right side. Scott for 3 is off the heel. Rebound strong to the perimeter. It ends up being won by the Deacons. They'll start a transition opportunity. Perkarovich kicking out. Holcroft, Rexon Baumgartner steps into a 3 and hits it. Tommy Baumgartner knocking down a transition three-point shot, and Shanley takes a 7-2 lead over Grand Forks Central with 12 and a half minutes to play in the opening half of basketball. Vagno looking near side, and we'll see a whistle and a foul, or is the ball out of bounds? It'll be out of bounds off of a Deacon. Take a look at that last 3. The American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Watch this in transition. A lot of confidence here. A couple of steps beyond the line, and a 3-ball knocked down by Tommy Baumgartner to hit a triple for Fargo Shanley, giving them a 2-possession lead early. Drive right side for Tayshawn Scott. Little double pivot, the up and under, but came up short with the left hand on the post. And Cutterba pulls down the rebound for Fargo Shanley. 7-2 lead Deacons. They're back up the floor looking for a 3-possession lead if they could hit from the field. Holcroft, top of the key, finding Tommy Baumgartner. Baumgartner defended out on top by Tyson Vagno. We expected that matchup tonight. Perhaps DeLorme, perhaps Vagno. Hard take to the basket. Layup good for Jacob Perkarovich. Again, they go to the window, and Fargo Shanley's been good at dribbling downhill tonight. 9-2. The Deacons on top by 7. Tayshawn Scott will hand off to the right side. DeLorme thought about penetrating. Now steps back. Got a man to move. Mid-range jump shot off the dribble is good for DeLorme. First bucket in a while. It breaks up a 9-0 run for Fargo Shanley. Cuts the lead to 5 at 9-4. Right side 3 out of the corner for Holcroft will hit. Michael Holcroft knocks down the second 3 of the night for Fargo Shanley. Just like that, the lead springs to 8 at 12-4 in favor of the Deacons. Tayshawn Scott dribbling his way into the front court, throws his back towards the basket, hands it back off to Braden DeLorme, flexing back to Vanyo. Vanyo coming back towards the left wing for Tayshawn Scott. That got jumped on top by Cutterba. Scott will cross over against him, goes to the basket and scores with a finger roll. Tayshawn Scott with a nice move to the basket, and Grand Forks Central cuts the lead back to 6 at 12-6. We'll get a media stoppage on the next dead ball. Sean Cutterba on the top of the key. Backdoor underneath, wide open. Perkarovich scores his 4th. Lead quickly back to 8 for Fargo Shanley. And right now the Deacons are finding their way to the basket a couple of different ways. That's just a breakdown of the Central defense. Didn't have to do any dribble penetration there at all. Scott Hard take to the basket. We've got a foul coming up, and that should take us to our media timeout with 10:39 to play here in the opening half. And that will be our media stoppage. Media timeout tonight here at Grand Forks Central High School. Shanley and Central with a 14-6 lead in favor of the Deacons. We have a timeout for Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. This is our coverage of high school basketball on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school basketball on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports, pair of 3 balls for Fargo Shanley breaking things open. Tommy Baumgartner, Michael Holcroft each with 3s. A 9-0 run for the Deacons early. They take a 14-6 lead over Grand Forks Central here downtown Grand Forks at Central High School. The Knights will have the basketball coming out of the first media stoppage of the night. Glad to have you along with us this evening. Take a look at our keys to the game that we have this evening. First of all, the keys to the game tonight for the Fargo Shanley Deacons, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center at Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center at Hockey World. That depth advantage when it comes down to scoring, we talked about it in the pregame report. And also, one of the places where Shanley struggled this year is in the turnover category. Winning that turnover battle when they're trying to play their transition-oriented offense is a big deal tonight. And those would be the keys to the game for Fargo Shanley this evening, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season. A 3 by Tayshawn Scott is short for Grand Forks Central, and a rebound comes down to Jacob Kraft for Fargo Shanley. Kraft to the basket, coast to coast, misses off the heel of the rim. A ball saved in bounds by Kraft out to the top, and Cutterba, who bluffs on a 3 and sends it to Tommy Baumgartner. A step back 3. Baumgartner short. Another offensive rebound, this time for a new Deacon, and a kick inside to a cut to the basket for Perkarovich. And Perkarovich will score his 6th. The new Deacon checking in is Landon Mitchell, 6-foot senior, and that would complete the 6-man rotation that we're aware of. Up the floor, Carter Larson scoring in transition for Fargo Shanley. Rather for Grand Forks Central. Larson will score to cut the lead to 16-8. It was a 10-point lead after that bucket inside for Fargo Shanley. A drive to the basket for Cutterba. He'll get his own rebound and stick it back. First scoring tonight for Sean Cutterba. Lead is 10, 18-8 in favor of Shanley. Ball right side. Larson transition 3 is off the heel of the rim. Central needs a couple of those. Mitchell with the rebound for Fargo Shanley, and the Deacons are back up front. Kraft looking underneath. They got it down low to Mitchell, who will score. Boy, Central's defense not reacting well to what Fargo Shanley has in store for them in the half-court set right now, and the lead has grown to a dozen at 20-8. Larson head faking on a 3, stepping right, finding Tayshawn Scott. Scott a couple of handles and a shot blocked by Cutterba. Ball goes loose, and one of the Knights down the baseline has it taken away. Landon Woken, who stepped in on the last dead ball, ends up getting the basketball off his hands, and a break down the floor to a transition basket for Jacob Kraft is going to force a Central timeout as the lead for the Deacons grows to 14. 8:53 to play opening half. It's 22-8 in favor of Fargo Shanley. Timeout taken by Grand Forks Central. We're back with more in a moment.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
During the timeout, Caden Jonas will come back into the game and play with 2 fouls for Grand Forks Central. Shanley's run out to a 14-point lead by a score of 22-8 on our All True scoreboard tonight. Timeouts brought to you by Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. The Knights need an answer. Bossard on the top of the key, working towards the right side, handing off for Tayshawn Scott. Scott a step up towards the top of the key. He'll hand off towards the right. Carter Larson taking the basketball, looking for some relief. Back to Scott. There's just no way inside for the Knights. A 3 on the way at the horn of the shot clock by Scott's no good. And the rebound to Fargo Shanley is pulled down by Jacob Kraft, who's got a good night rebounding the basketball right now. Ball inside. Cutter to Mitchell with a baseline jump shot that's missed. And Jonas grabs the rebound for Grand Forks Central. Knights need a basket in the worst way right now. Ball on the right side. Tayshawn Scott. Freshman stepping in with some foul trouble for the Knights tonight. But Jonas, the man he stepped in for, coming back onto the floor. Ball knocked loose. Tommy Baumgartner takes it away for Fargo Shanley. Transition 3 is off the glass strong from Perkarovich, and a long rebound to Carter Larson for the Knights. Larson steps up front, and Central goes to work, still down by that 14-point margin. Ball on the right sideline. Scott, crossover dribble. Runner, little teardrop that's off the heel of the rim. Rebound deflected to the perimeter. Jonas wins it. Jonas will hand it back to Scott. He'll take a 3 from the left corner. That one is short. No shot that Tayshawn Scott is afraid of. The 5'8 freshman checking in, looking for his opportunity to score, but Central still down 14. Long 3 on the way by Cutter, buzz off the glass strong. Scott has the rebound for the Knights. He'll drive up the floor, kicking right side. Larson in rhythm for 3. That one's off the front of the rim. Rebound battle on the near side. We're going to see a foul coming up. We're going to see Landon Mitchell, I believe, called for a foul here, getting into the back of Braden DeLorme, who has not yet scored tonight for Central. Braden DeLorme, the leading scorer for this Central team, 17.4 per game. My correction, he has scored 2, but we haven't seen DeLorme really get an opportunity to do much with the ball in his hands so far tonight. And the Knights will send Landon Walken back into the matchup. Central will have the basketball down by that 14-point margin. Here's Walken on the right side, turning back top of the key, handing back to Vanyo. Vanyo got a screen, steps into a double team, turns it back to DeLorme. Set shot for 3, he's fouled. So DeLorme will go to the foul line, looking to try to cut into this Fargo Shanley lead. And the foul apparently going against either Mitchell or against Baumgartner. We'll wait for this to come up. Landon Mitchell does pick up his second. That'll cause some depth issues now tonight for Fargo Shanley head coach Stefan Weber, as the first foul shot is good for Braden DeLorme. 6 players that played the majority of Shanley's minutes: Baumgartner, Holcroft, Kraft, Perkarovich, Mitchell, and Cutterba. Those are the 6 that jump off the stat sheet for you. And so when you've got that type of a lineup and someone gets in foul trouble, you're tested. Second foul shot, now the third, good for DeLorme. He's got 5, makes all 3 of the foul shots after the 3-point shot that he was fouled upon. And wide open, Baumgartner up the floor in transition, and he missed a layup. Central got back defensively. We'll see if they can turn that into a momentum stealer. Jonas into the front court. Handing things off for DeLorme on the right side. He'll come back to his left and pulls up off the dribble for 3. Nibbles off. Rebound to Vanyo. Big offensive crash. Out to Jonas. He'll take a step back 3-point shot. That's off the heel. Another old board put back by Walken. He's going to the line. Walken got fouled on the way to the basket, and we'll have an opportunity from the stripe. Kraft or Perkarovich here. It will be Perkarovich that picks up the foul. That'll be number 6 now on Fargo Shanley, so the Knights will enjoy the penalty for the final 6:29 of the opening half. Walken comes up empty. And correction, Woken. I've been told a couple of different ways to pronounce that last name, everybody, so my apologies for my first efforts coming up strong. It's Woken, according to the scorer's table. Second foul shot to be attempted here by Woken, trying to cut the lead to 10. He does. Woken knocks down the back end. Central 4 of 5 from the foul line tonight. And the Deacons will go down their bench. Wesley Sweat Jr., 6'1" senior, will come into the matchup for his first minutes of the night, going into the post for Fargo Shanley. 22-12, Grand Forks Central down 10 to the Deacons. And the Deacons into the front court. Kraft with the basketball left wing. Woken comes out to defend him. A drive to the right by Kraft. Between the legs, off to Perkarovich on the left wing. A stop to Cutterba. He looks inside. Sweat turning it back off towards the right baseline. Drive by Perkarovich. Back to Kraft and a foul. This will be a rotation for the Deacons with Baumgartner going inside, apparently going to try to find something going on inside for the Deacons. They haven't really played straight up with the post presence inside. It's been more 5 out trying to get to the basket. Foul will go against Tyson Vanyo, the third against Central tonight, his first. Sweat Jr. on the top of the key, looking left side, able to find the basketball to Perkarovich. Now Kraft, Baumgartner on top, stepping left. He'll pull up from about 15 feet. High bank shot's good for Baumgartner. He's got 7. Need a lot of touch to hit that shot, and he didn't have a clean go to the basket. So an aggressive and athletic play for Baumgartner, who's got 7 of the 19 that he averages here tonight. 24-12. The Deacons on top by a dozen once again. Their biggest lead has been 14. DeLorme, a very deep 3 money. Braden DeLorme stepping into a deep 3-point shot for Grand Forks Central. And the Knights will cut the lead to 9. A transition play by the Deacons disrupted. And that's going to take us to our media stoppage with 5:27 to play in the opening half of basketball. So timeout for media. 5:27 left first half. 24-15. Central down by 9 to Shanley. We've got more high school basketball next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Timeout's brought to you by Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. We're back with more next.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Well, let's take a look at the keys to the game that we have for you this evening. Our keys to the game for the Grand Forks Central Knights, brought to you tonight by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. You see that second half statistic. The Central Knights have been outscored by 94 points in the second half this season and earning second chances. Less than 70 offensive rebounds this year for Grand Forks Central. So those are numbers that they'd like to improve upon. The 69 offensive rebounds isn't terrible, but being outscored by 94 in the second half this year, they'll want to do better. Right now, they've been outscored by 9 in the first half. They can't wait for half number 2 to turn it on. Those are the keys to the game tonight. And they're brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Baumgartner for Fargo Shanley. Off to the top of the key, finding Sean Cutterba. Cutterba jump stop in the lane, a turn. Kick out towards the left side, hard take to the basket, and off the glass, and one for Jacob Kraft, but an offensive foul. He will not get the foul to go his way. He's going to take the foul himself, wave off the basket, and the Knights have an opportunity. They were down by 14, and this will be their chance now to try to close the gap to 7, maybe 6, if they get a 3-point opportunity and try to make this a 2-possession game. DeLorme in the backcourt finds his way back to Caden Jonas, and Jonas will run the team up front. 24-15, Shanley by 9 on the all-true scoreboard. A turn inside. Bonio turning it back off to Woken on the top of the key. Back to DeLorme, who got a screen. The screen immediately jumped. They go screen and roll. Bossert in the paint will score. Carter Bossert coming back with a really nice play for Grand Forks Central. And the Knights have cut the lead to 7. 3 on the way from the top of the key is no good that time taken by Jacob Kraft. Knights in transition. DeLorme fouled on his way to the basket by Wesley Sweat Jr. And we'll see DeLorme going to the foul line. Take a look at it again at the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is a really nice play here by Grand Forks Central. They adjust to the double teaming out on the perimeter that they've seen from Shanley all night, jumping those screens early, and they go right to screen and roll, and Bossert able to finish. to cut the lead to 7, and the lead is down to 6 as DeLorme steps into a foul shot. And DeLorme having a solid first half, now 9 first half points for Braden DeLorme. Knights back within 6 after being down 14. It's 24-18. Grand Forks Central back within 6 on our all-true scoreboard. And the second by DeLorme will leave it there, but an offensive rebound, and now Walken easily going to the basket, but decided not to take the shot. Instead to DeLorme for 3. That's short. DeLorme gets his own miss. The lead is 6. Central with the basketball. DeLorme looking for help. Turns it back to Vanyo in the right corner. Rotation back top of the key, got to the foul line. Right side, Jonas a step back. Now he'll drive with the left hand, kicks it out. 3 on the way by Watkins, short off the front of the rim. Rebound deflected, and this time Landon Mitchell will run down a loose ball rebound for Shanley. An opportunity missed there by the Knights. Deacons back up the floor with 4 minutes to play, still leading by 6. Ball inside Perkarovich and back off to the top for Baumgartner. Baumgartner a stop, looking left wing to Jacob Kraft. Kraft stepping back, working right side, got the dribble to Mitchell, and off to Baumgartner on the right wing. Shot clock 10 seconds. 3 on the way by Kraft is good, he sticks it. Jacob Kraft with 7, big three-point shot, turns some momentum back in favor of Shanley after the Knights had cut a 14-point lead to 6 and had a chance to score. Back to 9 at 27-18 Deacons. 3:25 to play first half. Ball off the right sideline, picked up on the sideline by DeLorme. He'll find Vanyo. Vanyo stepping left, coming back towards the right corner. Stop on the wing, reverses to Bossert. Jonas on the left wing. Shot clock's way down, 4 seconds. Jonas pulls up off the dribble and tries a 3 that did not draw iron, hit the glass. And Fargo Shanley will get the rebound. Tommy Baumgartner comes away with it, and the Deacons are back up front. Spin move by Cutterbutt to the basket with a little bit of a teardrop travel. Cutterbutt's not going to like that call. The way he made that spin move, it looks like he's made that one a handful of times in practice, and Stefan Weber, the head coach of the Deacons, going to ask about it as well. If I can interpret the conversation over there, it looked like Coach Weber showed a little bit of footwork. I don't think he was happy about that travel call. Lead is 9 for the Deacons at 27-18. Under 3 to play, opening half. The Knights with the basketball, walking to the top of the key, reversing to DeLorme. Sweat Jr. comes out to defend it. Ball top with Bossert. Near side, a head fake on a 3 by Jonas. Now he'll step back into a 3 and hits it. Big three-point shot for Caden Jonas. His first scoring tonight. Jonas averaging 5.7 a game. If he could get a bit more on the board tonight, be a nice help for Central. Lead cut to 6, and a ball through Wesley Sweat Jr.'s hands and out of bounds. Back to Grand Forks Central on a turnover with 2:27 left until the break. And for a game that was swinging Fargo Shanley's way with a 22-8 lead, Central has come crawling back in a big way. Back within 6, chance to make this a 4 or 3-point game on this trip up the floor. Jonas looking for a screen, a stop. Hands back to DeLorme. Sweat Jr. comes out to get him. DeLorme looking for a screen, got it. Drives baseline, pulls up, misses, but fouled. Braden DeLorme's back to the line. DeLorme's 4 for 4 tonight. Wesley Sweat Jr. picks up his second foul, so you've got 2 personnel off the bench now tonight for the Deacons with 2 each. Sweat Jr. and Mitchell each picking up 2 fouls in this first half. In the meantime, DeLorme looking for a double-figure night early for Central, and he's got it on the front end. 27-22, Central back within 5 of Fargo Shanley. Stay with us at halftime. For those of you just joining us, we'll take you through some of the highlights of the opening half. You won't want to miss that, as our halftime report will be brought to you tonight by High Plains Water and Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Second foul shot by DeLorme is missed. We're down to 2 minutes to play here in the opening half. Ball top of the key. Kraft to stop on the right elbow. Reverses to Mitchell in the left wing. Mitchell a stop, coming back right. Baumgartner in the lane, pulling up on a mid-range jumper and getting it to softly roll in. 4th field goal tonight for Baumgartner. He's got 9. The lead is back to 7 for the Deacons at 29-22. Ball left side, DeLorme got a screen, got an open lane, drives to the basket and scores. DeLorme, big night for Grand Forks Central. Cuts the lead back to 5 at 29-24. Kraft back up front for the Deacons, finding Cutterba on the right wing. Cutterba rotating back towards the top. Left side, Mitchell looking to put a move on against Carter Larson. A kick out, Cutterba for 3, money. That's a big three-point shot for Sean Cutterba. Cutterba stepping into that 3 to make it 32-24. Fargo Shanley going up by 8 once again. And that's what we talked about with Dan Larson tonight, is a 3 from DeLorme is good to answer. Braden DeLorme beginning to really heat up from the perimeter. I've got him for 14 first half points tonight. Lead cut to 5. Cutterba, left side of the floor, off to Kraft on the top of the key. He'll drive right, looks to dish down. It rolls back to Cutterba. 3 from the left corner, good. Another 3. Sean Cutterba quickly to 8 points. When we asked Coach Carlson in our pregame conversation tonight about helping out, he says you go help inside, the shooters will hurt you, and Cutterba's just hit back-to-back three-point shots. Lead back to 8 for the Deacons. Bossard on the top of the key, handing left side of the floor. We've got a little bit of a mix-up on the near side. Wolken running into Cutterba, and we're going to see a foul called, it would appear, against Sean Cutterba. I've got Cutterba for 1. I know I'm missing a foul for the Deacons. That will be his first, however. And the balance there again for the Deacons tonight. 9 for Baumgartner, 7 for Kraft, 8 for Cutterba, 6 for Perkarovich. First foul shot is good for Walken. But we talked about their balance, and if that's the recipe for Fargo Shanley, then they're off to a really good start. Lead cut to 7. Second foul shot, good for Walken. That'll trim the lead to 6. And if Walken and the Knights can find a way to get a defensive stop here, keep this a 6-point game going into halftime, they'd feel like, okay, we did some work after getting down by 14. This is a big end of the first half possession for Fargo Shanley. Ball left side with Tommy Baumgartner. Off the dribble for 3, hits it. Wow. Now you got to go answer. Tommy Baumgartner gets out the double figures. He's got 12 points. That's his 5th field goal. 10 seconds remain. It's a 9-point Fargo Shanley lead. Tayshawn Scott back into the game. Fouled. Cutterba just picked up his second. So the Knights will go to the foul line with freshman Tayshawn Scott trying to cut the game back to a 7-point margin. Would need to knock them both down to get to that point. He's a lefty, and his first is no good off the heel. Wesley Sweat Jr. going to come back into the game with his 2 fouls, coming with him, obviously taking Cutterba out of the game. They don't want him to get a 3rd in the first half. Second foul shot is good for Tayshawn Scott. 6 seconds remain in the opening half. Stopped by Perkarovich. Kraft, deep 3 from the top of the key off the front of the rim, and that's the end of the first half of basketball. A good rally for Grand Forks Central to cut the game back to 5 after falling behind by 14. But at the end of the opening half, your score on our All-True scoreboard is Grand Forks Central trailing Fargo Shanley 38-30. We'll come back with your halftime report, brought to you by our friends at Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water, with highlights from the first half coming up next. This is our coverage of high school basketball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school basketball on the Rivards Turf and 4-H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports from Central High School tonight, downtown Grand Forks, where the Knights trail Fargo Shanley by a score of 38-30. Our halftime report brought to you this evening by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. With a system from High Plains Water, your appliances last longer, and that saves you real money. And you can get the chemicals out of your water and the taste in, so you'll drink more all throughout your home. You're talking about cleaner laundry with less detergent. High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. And our coverage brought to you this evening with our halftime report by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. If it's time to get those implements in shape so that they're ready to handle the next planting season, get those repairs to Grand Forks Welding and Machine so you can hit the ground running coming up in 2026. Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. Well, a 22-8 lead for Fargo Shanley to start this game tonight. Grand Forks Central was in some real trouble. Now, as they go into halftime, they have only one player with multiple field goals. The foul line was really a big help for Grand Forks Central in the first half. Shanley did not make a foul shot. Meanwhile, Grand Forks Central shot 9 of 12 from the foul line, which is a huge difference in the matchup. But Central got behind a hot streak from Braden DeLorme, and they were able to run the lead back down to just 5 on a couple of occasions. Right now, it's an 8-point lead by a score of 38-30. Let's take a look at the highlights that we have in the first half of play. Our highlights and our look at what we have going on throughout the course of the night, brought to you by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent. Get started with Fargo Shanley early. This is Tommy Baumgartner. Transition play. He'll take the 3. Lots of confidence for Baumgartner going after the 3, even in transition. Grand Forks Central coming back. Couple of big plays to go their way. This is Braden DeLorme on the right side of the floor. Deep 3 right in front of the Fargo Shanley bench. And then later, DeLorme would make another big play for Shanley, or actually for the Knights, recognizing the jump of a screen, goes right to the screen and roll. Carter Bossert gets open inside and scores the left hand, and that's when the Knights began their comeback bid. But you see a couple of back-to-back threes at the end of the half. This is Sean Cutterbutt from deep. Knocks down a 3 after the Knights had cut the lead to 5. That put it back to 8. He did that again before the first half came to a conclusion. And it's 38-30 in favor of Fargo Shanley over Grand Forks Central. Take a look at our scoring summary that we have from the first half with Who Lit the Lamp, and it's brought to you this evening by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter at Bergstrom Electric. And tonight, the leader for Fargo Shanley is their leading scorer, Tommy Baumgartner. 5 field goals in the first half, a pair of 3s. He's got 12. 8 points for Sean Cutterbutt. Those 2 3s at the end of the half took a 2-point night out to an 8-point night. Jacob Kraft with 7 and 6. For Jacob Perkarovich, Michael Hallcroft with 3, 2 for Landon Mitchell. Some foul trouble for Fargo Shanley that we'll talk about going into the second half tonight. For Grand Forks Central, Braden DeLorme with 15 points in the first half tonight. A pair of 3s, a pair of 2s. He was 5 of 6 from the foul line tonight, so 15 at the break for Braden DeLorme. No one else with more than 3, but Central did get 6 more players on the scoreboard tonight. Tayshawn Scott, a nice rotation off the bench, or 2 with some foul trouble plaguing Central. Scott with 3, a 2 and 1 of 2 the foul line. Caden Jonas hit a big 3. Landon Walken hit 3 of 4 from the foul line. Carter Larson with 2. Tyson Vagno with 2. Carter Bossert with 2. Grand Forks Central needs to develop that extra scorer. And really for the Knights, they're going to have to find some post presence to work with when they get into the second half of this one. Right now, the Knights down by a score of 38-30, and that's Who Lit the Lamp, and it's brought to you tonight by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. We'll come back with second half basketballs. Our halftime report continues. Halftime report this evening brought to you by our friends at Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. This is high school basketball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with Harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
Our scoreboard updates tonight are brought to you by All True. Regular screenings with All True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. They're in progress down in Fargo. And Grand Forks Central getting another challenge from Fargo Davies tonight. The Knights lead the Eagles by a score of 3-2 in the matchup. It was 3-0 at the end of the opening period. Davies has scored early in the second on the power play. Central getting goals from Che Kwame, Ryland Spicer, Cooper DeZiel, but they lead by just one, 3-2 at Farmers Union Insurance Rink down in Fargo. Here's Central down by 8 to Fargo Shanley, 38-30. High school hoops and a drive to the basket cut from Michael Holcroft. He's got his first basket of the second half. And the lead quickly back to 10 as Fargo Shanley continues to penetrate to the basket against Grand Forks Central tonight. DeLorme out of the left corner for the Knights. Couple of crossover dribbles looking to get free. Ball fakes and turns it back to Bossert on the top of the key. Back to DeLorme. A look towards his left hand. Spins his way to the elbow. Had the ball come loose but was able to rescue it. Shot clock 10 seconds. Jonas for 3 is off the heel of the rim. Rebound out towards the perimeter. Carter Larson can't quite save it. This will go back to Shanley. Where the only moments of this one going to be so important for Fargo, Shanley, and for Grand Forks Central, particularly for Central. You fought hard to get back to within 5, but Shanley runs it out to 12, 14 points on you again, and right now the lead is 10. Could be a struggle. A 3 from the top of the key by Holcroft is off, but the rebound comes strong to the perimeter, and it's run down by Kraft, who then turns it over looking to the post. Tyson Vanyo comes up with the takeaway. Carter Larson getting free. He'll go to the basket and score. Transition play for Carter Larson. He's got 4. And it cuts the Deacon lead to 8 at 14-32. Kraft top of the key, step in. Holcroft pulls up in front of the rim, misses, and the rebound comes down with Caden Jonas for Grand Forks Central. Knights back up front. Jonas checking to his left hand, looking at DeLorme, hands it there. DeLorme getting towards the corner, spins his way back to the left elbow. Now cuts baseline, pulls up on a double pivot, missed it. Rebound deflected through the hands. Vanyo trying to go get it. Vanyo does, and we'll see a foul coming up against Tommy Baumgartner. Baumgartner reaching in from behind, trying to force the held basketball situation. And Baumgartner will have his second. Central got Fargo Shanley to a little bit of foul trouble in the opening half. Underneath, Bossert with the basketball on the right block on the inbounds play. Bossert turning left, turns with the left-handed, scores. Bossert's second bucket inside. Central needs some of that tonight. Down by 6 now are the Knights at 40-34. Another hold and another score. Shanley might start to hold the ball a bit more tightly. Ball on the top of the key. A look towards the corner by Cutterba. Cutterba reverses back to Kraft to stop against some dribble penetration. Chonas coming out to stop him. Cutterba for 3 comes up short, and the rebound underneath to Carter Larson for Grand Forks Central. Chance to cut the lead to 4, maybe 3 on a 3-point play. That's what Larson wants. He'll take the 3 and missed it. Never really got his legs underneath him on that shot. And Tommy Baumgartner has the rebound for Fargo Shanley. He'll send it up the floor, a cut inside. Kraft from about 12 feet, trickles off the front of the rim. Rebound to Bossert for Grand Forks Central. Still 40-34 Deacons. Central back into the front court. They trailed by 14. They currently trail by 6. Larson on top, crossing left hand to stop. Ball rolled loose, but Larson got it back. Brings it back to Vanyo. A stop and a look to the wing for Chonas. Chonas ball faking, trying his dribble drive towards the top of the key. Now he looks for help. Found DeLorme with 7 on the shot clock. Deep 3 by DeLorme, trickles off the front of the rim. Rebounds out of bounds off of Baumgartner. This will go back to Central. Give you a Vegan Construction game look-in, brought to you by Vegan Construction, designers, builders, engineers. Nearly a century of quality work in the Upper Red River Valley. Central led 22-8. The Knights have cut the lead to 5. On a pair of occasions, they have not been able to get closer. And right now they trail by 6. And that's your Vegan Construction game look-in, as a miss inside for Larson sends Shanley the basketball, and Kraft hits a transition 3. Second score to double figures tonight for Shanley is Jacob Kraft, knocking down his 10th. And the lead is back to 9 by a score of 43-34. Knights back into the front court with the basketball, drifting left. Ball taken there by Larson. Larson a jab step towards his right. Perkarovich comes out to try to chase him down. DeLorme's got to look at an open 3. It rolls off the front of the rim. And a rebound stripped through the hands of Holcroft. Ends up out of bounds. And it's be Deacon basketball. Well, a chance now for Fargo Shanley to push the lead back over double figures. 43-34 with 14:26 to play in the second half. Shanley led 22-8 at the biggest mark in the opening half of play. Kraft up front for the Deacons. He'll pull up just inside the 3-point line, missed it off the heel, and a rebound to Chonas for Grand Forks Central. 3-on-3 up the floor. Larson's got a path, went to the basket, missed it. Layup on the way, couldn't get it to go through. Rebound knocked loose by Vanyo, picked up inside and brought up the floor. And an offensive foul. Tommy Baumgartner will pick up his 3rd. Both teams having their struggles here in the second half. Opportunities that have been missed on a couple of occasions. That one hurts. Tommy Baumgartner, the leading scorer for the Deacons at 19 points per game, picks up his 3rd foul and an offensive call. And Caden Chonas will come over and retrieve a towel, while it looks like Fargo Shanley intends to pressure the upcoming inbounds pass from Grand Forks Central. So they'll clean it up. Our timeouts tonight brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region. And brought to you as well by Apex Apparel and Promotions, your hometown quick turnaround family-operated promotional shop in Grand Forks. Pressure does not materialize for Shanley. The Knights down 9 with a basketball at 43-34. Up the floor, Chonas, a little sell of a charge that time, and now Perkarovich slips. Chonas will take advantage, comes up with a 3 but misses, and the rebound to Michael Holcroft for Fargo Shanley. Deacons back on the move. Holcroft stepping up to the top of the key. Kick out to Cutterba, set the seal. Cutterba misses the 3, and a rebound to Carter Bossert for Fargo Shanley. He'll look off left side, finding Vanyo. Knights back up the floor, still down 9. Vanyo will look, handing off to DeLorme. DeLorme will bring it back to the top of the key. Steps left, hard take, to the glass, count it 1 for Braden DeLorme. DeLorme got a step, went hard to the basket, has his first scoring of the second half, and has a chance at a 3-point play as we take a look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. DeLorme takes it top of the key, and it's just everybody get out of the way and see if DeLorme can penetrate. Does, gets the contact, and gets the finish, and that's the important part for Grand Forks Central. And the foul shot will be finished as well. 3-point play for DeLorme. He's got 18. And the lead has been cut to 6 again at 43-37. 13:20 to play in the second half. Baumgartner, long throw up the floor to Cutterba in the right corner. Cutterba stop along the baseline, rotates back to Baumgartner on the top of the key. Back to Cutterba, right side dribble. Baumgartner in the corner, steps back, 3 on the way. Strong, but Cutterba an offensive rebound. Sends it back to Kraft, and Shanley will go back through the paces. Baumgartner spinning on Larson, double pivot, went up, drew a foul. Baumgartner trying to get inside, draw a little contact, and they may rule that he was in the act of shooting here. They're going to give that to Tyson Vanyo, his second personal foul. So it looked as though for a moment that foul might go against Larson, but in the end it will go against Vanyo. Baumgartner to the foul line. His first is good. That's the first made foul shot tonight for Fargo Shanley. Pushes the Deacon lead back to 7 at 44-37. 12 minutes and just under 13 to play. Second foul shot is good for Baumgartner. He's got 14. Lead back to 3 possessions, 8-point game at 45-37. Vanyo up front for Grand Forks Central, moving right. Handing the ball off top of the key for Carter Larson. Little flex motion again. Jonas coming back towards the right wing. Off the baseline, Vanyo will take it. Hands back to the top for Larson. Larson looking for an opportunity, got to the window, scores on an athletic play. Carter Larson driving inside, layup with 2 hands, falling away. Lead cut to 6 at 45-39. Baumgartner reversing, Holcroft driving left baseline. A stop by Holcroft, reverses back to Kraft at the top of the key. Kraft jump stopping, scoop layup, foul coming up against Central. Kraft got a look inside, he was on the left side of the hoop, went with a right scoop and missed it, but foul coming up against Carter Larson. Larson will pick up his first of the night, and this will put Kraft on the foul line for the Deacons. First on the way for Kraft is no good. Again, the Deacons did not get a look at the foul line in the first half. Grand Forks Central was 9 of 12. That kept them afloat. The second for Kraft is no good as well, and a rebound out of bounds. Last touch by the Deacons. It'll be Central basketball. Now we'll wait. Could be some help offered on the far sideline. 2 officials will get together to discuss the call, and they're going to reverse the call and send this back to Shanley. Not much of a protest coming from the Grand Forks Central bench. The Shanley crowd was right on top of that play and felt like that should be their basketball. They will inbound. That would have been a big opportunity for the Knights. Down 6 right now, trying to get another stop and find a way to make this a 4 3-point game as close as they've been. They got back to within 5 after falling behind by 14. Deep 3 that's off the front of the rim, and a foul coming up on the rebound. It's going to go against Vanyo. Baumgartner gets fouled underneath. Vanyo will pick up his third, and that will lead to some depth issues for Grand Forks Central. Virgil Bukta, I apologize, Virgil Bukta does not have his warm-up clothes on, so he's ready to come in here for the Knights. On top, Kraft on the way for 3, sticks it. Big sequence. Jacob Kraft knocks down his 13th, and the lead swings back to 9. Central got it to 6. Couldn't get their hands back on the basketball. 3 different trips for the Deacons, couple of fouls, and the lead's quickly back to 9. Larson on top for the Knights. Hands back to Vanyo. He'll give to Jonas. Jonas driving left, looked for DeLorme on a cut, couldn't find him. Back to Larson. He'll pull the trigger for 3, and a foul offensive against Grand Forks Central. I believe Bossert set an illegal screen, and that should take us to our media stoppage. It will. Carter Bossert will pick up his first, and we'll have a media timeout here at Central High School. The Knights down 9. The Deacons will get the basketball when we come back. Timeout brought to you by Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. It's 48-39 Deacons on the All True scoreboard. This is Central Knights basketball.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades, or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
Scoreboard updates brought to you by All True. Our All True scoreboard down in Fargo at Farmers Union Insurance Rink. Fargo Davies back within one again after Central scored a fourth goal. Made the lead 4-2. Davies has come back to cut the lead to 1. Seems like Fargo Davies is going to give Grand Forks Central fits all season. Nolan Marto scoring to push the lead back to 2, but Fargo Davies gets a goal from Ryan Adsero to cut the lead down to 1. It's 4-3. They're likely getting ready for the third period of that matchup. Here, Central down by 9, 48-39 to the Deacons, and an illegal screen against Shanley will give the ball back to Central. It'll go against Jacob Perkarovich. That'll be number 2 on Perkarovich. Both teams now have 4 in the second half. The Knights will inbound the basketball down by 9. Central fell behind 22-8. They've cut it to as few as 5. They've had a handful of chances with the lead down to 6. They haven't been able to convert. They haven't been able to get stops as of late when they've got the lead down to 6. DeLorme, ball faking on a deep 3. Now will take that deep 3 and just about hit it. Ends up missing it. Its rebound will trickle out of bounds off of Baumgartner's hands, and it will go back to Central. 11-16 to play. Still a lot of basketball left, but you get the feeling that the Knights will only get so many opportunities to crack momentum solidly back in their way. DeLorme looking in. Bossert finds an open play in the post. Turns it back off to DeLorme. A stop. Tayshawn Scott, the young freshman that got in early. He takes an extra step to the basket, but missed a scoop finger roll layup. Got the opening on the up and under. Didn't finish. Deacons back up front. Baumgartner giving back to Kraft on the top of the key. Kraft calling the play. Everyone out. Looking for an opportunity. Baumgartner takes it. Cutterba looking right side for Kraft. A look back towards the top. Ball taken there. Top of the key again by Baumgartner. Back to Cutterba in the corner. Kraft will step up off the dribble. And a 3-ball ends up short. Rebound saved in bounds, and waiting was Carter Larson for Grand Forks Central. He'll push tempo. Jonas will pull the trigger for 3 in transition and hits it. Caden Jonas hits a 3. Lead cut to 6. Deacons back into the front court with it. Here's a big opportunity for Central again. Kraft on the left side of the floor. Game clock approaching 10 minutes in the second half remaining. Ball to the corner, picked up by Baumgartner. A jab step on Jonas. Baumgartner with a left-hand dribble. Comes back to Kraft on the top of the key. Shot clock's at 10. Jonas stepping up. Moves away from some pressure. A 3 on the way by Kraft is short, and the rebound taken down by Bossert. The Knights a chance to cut it to 4 or maybe 3. DeLorme will attack, stops the lane. We've got a foul coming up against Shanley. Keep the ball with Grand Forks Central. Foul will go against Jacob Kraft. That'll be his 3rd personal foul, so the fouls continue to mount up for the Deacons. 3 for Baumgartner, 3 for Kraft. Basically everyone else playing with 2 except for Michael Holcroft. Bossert pull up off the inbounds play, and Larson will be called for a foul, looking for a rebound. Second on Larson. There's that next opportunity again that just gets away from Central. You cut the lead to 6. Can you make it any closer? You try, but miss the shot. Can't get the board. Commit a foul. Deacons have the basketball back. Now can you find the stop to keep yourself in this spot? Kraft reversing back to Baumgartner on the right side of the floor. Baumgartner hands off to Holcroft. A look towards the left corner. Perkarovich off the screen. Steps in the lane, bangs into Jonas. Turns it back to Holcroft in the top of the key. Shot clock at 10. Kraft steps in, steps back. Perkarovich will take a 3. That's off the heel of the rim, but a no board. Cutterba pulls it down. He looks to get rid of it. Back off to Baumgartner. Deep 3. That one's no good, and this time the rebound to Jonas for Grand Forks Central. Another chance for the Knights to cut it to 4 or 3. Tayshawn Scott on the top of the key. Looking left side. Found his way to Larson. Back into the flex motion. DeLorme looking towards the left corner. He'll just pull up off the dribble for 3 and missed it short. Rebound pulled down by Scott. Follows up with a 15-footer. That won't fall. And the rebound to Baumgartner for Fargo Shanley. Deacons looking to use transition. Cutterba stop in the right corner. Court wide pass broken up by Scott, and a foul. That will go against Perkarovich. So now Perkarovich, Baumgartner, and Kraft each with 3. That's the 6th against Fargo Shanley. So the Knights will enjoy the penalty for 8 minutes, 49 seconds of the second half. But Central has only 1 foul to give before the Deacons get the penalty also. Inbounds pass to DeLorme, and Kraft is right in his grill to get him in the backcourt. DeLorme behind the back dribble, stepping up top of the key, and looks to set the offense. And again, they're chasing DeLorme all over. He goes both directions on a screen. Is that going to be called an illegal screen? Let's see what the call is here. They're going to call a foul on the Deacons, it would appear. Jacob Perkarovich just picked up his 4th personal foul. I thought for a second they were going to snag Grand Forks Central, a pair of screens that were set by Landon Woken. He set one way, one the next, and boy, the whistle was blown right after that, and I thought for a moment they've got Woken, but instead, this will be the 7th team foul against Fargo Shanley, and the Knights will go to the foul line with a chance to cut this down to 4. And it's DeLorme taking the shots. His first rims in and out. Cutterbuck comes up with a rebound. Boy, it seems 6 is just the number that Central stuck on. Holcroft on the baseline, kicks it inside. Baumgartner cutting to the basket, misses on the front end. A tap putback won't go, and he got his own board and is fouled, and another opportunity to get back to the basket. And we'll go to the foul line for Shanley. We should have been keeping track as to how many times Central cut the lead to 6 and just has not been able to crack it any further. At the line is Baumgartner. First foul shot is short. Baumgartner does not have a field goal in the second half. He had 5 in the first half to lead the Deacons in scoring with 12 points. Second foul shot for Baumgartner is good. The lead goes back to 7. Jacob Kraft right now the Deacons leader with 13. Braden DeLorme has 18 for Grand Forks Central. The lead is 7 for the Deacons at 49-42. Tayshawn Scott driving, got to the basket. Scoop layup, missed again. Rebound saved by Walken and thrown out of bounds. Boy, Tayshawn Scott knows how to get to the basket. He's a freshman. That finishing is something that he'll get better at as he goes. But Dan Carlson, the head coach of the Knights, taking advantage of an opportunity to get a youngster in the game to kind of learn the craft here in a big spot. Central down by 7. Shanley with the basketball. Cutterba looking into the high post, finding Baumgartner. A turn, fall away jump shot, missed it short. An offensive board, put back. Holcroft will score. Michael Holcroft with 7. The lead is back to 9 for the Deacons at 51-42. Larson right side, easy step to the basket, scores the left hand. Carter Larson breaking down the defense with a crossover dribble. Cuts the Shanley lead to 7. Kraft into the front court with 7.5 minutes to go. He'll work the dribble towards the right, plays it off towards the right wing, was able to find Holcroft. Now Cutterba steps out with the basketball. Left side of the floor to Kraft. Shot clock approaching 10 seconds. Kraft hard take with a shoulder down against Larson. Off to Cutterba, he'll be defended by Woken. A stop, play back to the wing. Hard stop inside by Mitchell. He'll turn it left side. 3 by Holcroft, rims out, no good. And the rebound to Central, pulled down by Caden Jonas, loose ball. Larson transition 3, missed it. Rebound deflected strong to the perimeter. Tayshawn Scott goes to get it. And now Jonas another 3. This one's good. Caden Jonas knocks down his 3rd 3 of the night. And the lead has been cut to 4. 51-47. Grand Forks Central gets back to within 2 pair. 6:45 to play second half. Cutterba in the lane, pulls up hard off the glass and misses. The rebound brought down inside by Carter Larson. The Knights into the front court. Larson a head fake on a transition 3. Goes inside and finds Walken for the easy take. Woken goes to the basket and scores a big play for Grand Forks Central, and the lead has been cut to 2 and a timeout taken by Fargo Shanley. 51-49, Central's back within 2 after trailing by 14 early. We have a timeout for Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. This is Knights basketball with more of it coming up next.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
The body shop you work with is your choice, so pick the local team with the service you trust. Modern Auto Body in Grand Forks can make it look like the accident never happened. Schedule an appointment for an estimate on our website or give us a call.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school basketball tonight. Let's give you another look at a Vegan Construction game look-in, brought to you tonight by Vegan Construction, designers, builders, engineers in Grand Forks and in the Upper Red River Valley. Nearly 100 years of quality work. Central trailed by 14, cut the lead to 6 on a number of occasions. Caden Jonas coming up with a 3-point shot to cut the lead to 4. And we see a two-pointer inside for Landon Woken that we'll take a look at here in a moment. And the game is a two-point game, 51-49. Grand Forks Central back within 2 with 6:15 to play in the second half. Mitchell on the top of the key finding Baumgartner. He'll dribble free of DeLorme, got to the basket, scooped the layup, missed it, and the rebound's off to the perimeter where it's picked up on the near side, only to be taken away from Carter Larson on a strip. Holcroft comes up the floor 3-on-2. Baumgartner to the glass scores. Tough takeaway. Shanley continuing to play the defensive effort. 17 points for Baumgartner. And the lead is back to 4 at 53-49 in favor of the Deacons. Top of the key, DeLorme for Grand Forks Central, driving right. DeLorme taking a look in the corner. Off to the top. Jonas on the way for 3, missed it. And the rebound underneath will be won by Sean Cutterbud. And so now the Deacons a chance to push the lead right back to 3 possessions. Good recovery from Fargo Shanley after the momentum was on Central side going into the timeout. Mitchell on the top of the key. Reversing right side to Holcroft and off to the wing. Deep 3 by Kraft on the way is off the heel of the rim. The Knights are really holding Central to 1 and done. They've rebounded the basketball well in this sequence. 53-49. Knights down 4. DeLorme into the front court. Looking for a screen from Woken. Got it both directions. Sends it to Carter Larson. Larson a crossover. Got himself in the lane. Spins back to his left hand. High bank shot for Larson. He scores it. 10 points for Carter Larson. Again, the Knights down to within 2, and a 3 in transition puts it right back to 5. That 3 from Michael Holcroft. He's got 10. 3 in double figures tonight for Fargo Shanley thus far. Lead back to 5. DeLorme to the basket. Offensive foul. Wave off the shot. Braden DeLorme will be called for the foul. And that should take us to our media stoppage with 4:42 left to go. Second half. 56-51. Shanley by 5. Can the Knight comeback sustain? We have a timeout for Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. And we'll come back with more Knights basketball next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always calls ahead to schedule service. We are online always. If you suffer from slow download speeds, call our certified network designers and installers. On call, on time, and online. RBB Electric won't leave you in the dark. RBB Electric, your 24/7 electricians.
Scoreboard updates are brought to you by Altru. Regular screenings with Altru's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit altru.org or call 780-5000. Still 4-3. They're getting ready to start the third period down at Fargo Davies and Grand Forks Central in Fargo tonight at Farmers Union Insurance Center. Here tonight, 56-51, Grand Forks Central down by 5. They've been within 2 after falling behind by 14. A 3 by Baumgartner falling away is missed, and a rebound picked up by Vanyo. He'll save in bounds to Woken. Grand Forks Central a chance to cut into a Shanley 5-point lead with 4:20 to play. Second half, DeLorme on the top of the key. Looking towards the left side, trying to direct traffic. Central will bring the offense high. Jonas comes out on the left wing to take the basketball. Got a screen from Vanyo, comes back to DeLorme. DeLorme, couple of crosses, goes between the legs, takes a bump, got in the lane, looked down the floor, ball's loose, and goes off of a couple of bodies before Michael Holcroft will pick it up for Fargo Shanley. He finds Cutterbub the floor, who has defense coming in from behind. Ball knocked loose, and Woken will take it back for Grand Forks Central. Under 4 to play in the second half. Both teams in the penalty at this point with 7 fouls. Central will have DeLorme with a wide open 3 left wing, and he drains it. Braden DeLorme, a big 3 out on the left wing for Grand Forks Central. DeLorme continues his hot night. He's got 21. 56-54. Central back within 2. Ball right side of the floor, Holcroft into the corner. Baumgartner pulling up against traffic, sending it to Mitchell for a left corner 3. That's no good. Rebounds on the floor. Woken had it, lost it. It'll be a held ball. The arrow's going to favor Central, and they're going to have a chance to tie or take the lead with 3:19 to play in the second half. Central has not had the lead since it was 2-0. Fargo Shanley came back with a 9-0 run, part of taking a 22-8 advantage. And Central now back within 2 at 56-54. And Shanley will put on some pressure. A bounce pass to the near side for Larson. Got a defender to miss. Larson still has a man in his back pocket as he comes into the lane. He pulls up right in front of the basket and scores. Carter Larson with 10 of his 12 after halftime. This one's tied downtown tonight. 3 minutes to go, 56 apiece. Kraft off the right side for Shanley. A jab step by Landon Mitchell. He'll work back to the top of the key. Holcroft lost the ball out of bounds. Grand Forks Central will get it back. The Knights with an opportunity to take the lead down the stretch with 2 minutes and 56 seconds left to go in the second half. 56 all, inbounds from Jonas. He'll look left side to Larson, back to Jonas in the backcourt. And Jonas will walk his way up front. A calm, collected Caden Jonas bringing his team into the front court. He'll look left side, gave it to Braden DeLorme. DeLorme taking a look, stepping towards the left, got to the baseline. A turn, a pivot, tried to lean into a scoop layup, missed it. Rebound put back by Woken, won't fall. And the rebound comes out with Cutterbuff for Fargo Shanley. Up the floor, Baumgartner hit from behind. He'll go to the foul line. We have not seen minutes as of yet tonight from Grand Forks Central's Virgil Bukta, a 6'2 sophomore. They've utilized him at times throughout the course of the season, and he's kind of that seventh man for Grand Forks Central when it comes down to minutes. They haven't had him in the ball game as of yet. Baumgartner cracks the tie in favor of Shanley. And Baumgartner with a big night tonight. He's got 18 points to this juncture. 4 of 5 now from the foul line for Tommy Baumgartner. His average is 19. He's got a chance at that here, and he hits it. And the lead's back to 2 for Shanley at 58-56. 2.5 minutes to play in regulation. Knights into the front court. Larson stepping left. Spins his way back towards the right. Hands it off for DeLorme. DeLorme jabbing towards his right. Comes back left. And we've got a whistle. And something away from the basketball that'll be an illegal screen. Going to be called against Central. Woken will be called for it. We've watched him set screens fore and aft, trying to free up DeLorme a couple of times tonight. And was wondering when one of those is going to be called a block because of the movement. Tayshawn Scott will come back into the matchup for Grand Forks Central. And the Deacons with a 2-point lead will step back in the front court. 2:15 to go. Ball right side of the floor. Perkarovich will scoop it out. Cutterbugh's left alone, drills a three. Dagger three for Sean Cutterbuh. He scores his 11th of the night. And now a takeaway, and Cutterbuh will go to the basket and score again. 13 for Cutterbuh. Will have a timeout taken as the lead quickly springs back to 7 with just under 2 to play. 63-56 on our all-true scoreboard, and a tough sequence for Grand Forks Central. We have a timeout on the floor. This is our coverage of high school basketball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Post-game report on the way. Our post-game report brought to you by Spray Advantage and also by the Ski and Bike Shop. Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure awaits. Central now in a big hole, down by 7, 63-56. They had tied the game late in the matchup, but a three by Sean Cutterbuh, then a takeaway by Cutterbuh quickly springs him out to a 13-point night. And Grand Forks Central down by 3 possessions with 1:45 to go. Had come back to tie from down 14. Another emotional night here for the Knights. Ball on the right baseline, and we'll see Larson pull up, misses a soft jump shot. Vaniel pulls down an offensive rebound. Head fake by Jonas, got a man in the air. The Knights another look at the basket with 1.5 to go. Larson spinning his way through traffic, got to the basket, counted one for Carter Larson. He's had a big second half. Larson with 12 of his 14 after halftime, and everything's been on field goals. He's got 7 buckets tonight. Larson averaging 13.2 and also 5.5 rebounds a game. Cuts the lead to 5. And the foul will go against Perkarovich, and that will mean that he will foul out tonight, I believe. Perkarovich will leave with 6. Larson at the foul line, and the bonus, or the penalty, I should say bonus is good. So Larson now with 15. The lead is 4, 63-59. The three-point play puts this back in the realm of possibility here for Central, but they'll need stops and rebounds. On top, Kraft handing off to Cutterba. He'll look left side. Holcroft with the basketball. Works his way back to the top of the key. Hands off to Baumgartner. Clock at 1 minute 5 seconds. Shot clock at 10. Baumgartner cool, calm, collected, stepping away from pressure. Looking for a screen, driving right. Baumgartner swings it back. 3 on the way from the top of the key. No good at the horn. A foul on the rebound that will go against Shanley's Landon Mitchell. This will put the Knights on the line to shoot the penalty. So Mitchell should be, unless it's going to be called an offensive foul, apparently they're not going to shoot shots. It'll be an offensive foul for Grand Forks Central, and the Knights will inbound in the backcourt along the sideline. Jonas looking, finding DeLorme. The Knights still need 2 possessions, 50 seconds to go, and DeLorme nearly lost handle of the basketball. He'll bring it back up front, and we'll see a whistle and a timeout taken by Grand Forks Central. So the Knights will call for timeout with 46.4 remaining. 63-59, the Knights back within 4 with the basketball. We've got the finish coming up next on KNOX Live Sports.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
The body shop you work with is your choice, so pick the local team with the service you trust. Modern Auto Body in Grand Forks can make it look like the accident never happened. Schedule an appointment for an estimate on our website or give us a call.
63-59, Fargo Shanley leading by 4 on the all-true scoreboard. Timeout for Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. And a timeout tonight for Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop. Our coverage tonight brought to you in part by PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. In Devils Lake and Grand Forks, the Knights need 2 possessions in 45 seconds. Jonas, backdoor cut. DeLorme inside, turning and scoring. Braden DeLorme gets 1. DeLorme having a nice second half to go with 15 in the first half. There's a separation there and a whistle. A timeout was taken by Fargo Shanley before Tommy Baumgartner hit the floor. So the Deacons will call for a stoppage with 33.1 seconds left to go. This is a 30-second timeout. And we'll keep it here. Timeouts brought to you tonight by Apex Apparel and Promotions, your hometown family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks. And brought to you by Big Jim's Tire. They are your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. There is a 7.1 second differential between game clock and shot clock. The held ball possession arrow belongs to Fargo Shanley. 18, let's see here, 23 tonight for Braden DeLorme, the leading scorer. And a nice half for Carter Larson, who scored 13 of his 15 after halftime. The lead is 2 for Fargo Shanley. The Deacons with the basketball. Each team has committed 9 fouls. It's the double penalty the rest of the way. Inbounds play will come in, Baumgartner with it, and the Knights are going to choose to foul. Interesting choice in that situation. If Baumgartner hits them both, it's back to a 2-possession game. I would have thought maybe you play for the stop in that sequence, but nowadays there's a lot of coaches that have access to the, what they would, I guess the baseball phrase would be sabermetrics, but the percentages, right? Play the percentage game, and there's the first miss, so that's what you're talking about right there. Baumgartner misses, so the Knights, if they can get a rebound here, chance to tie the game, even on a made shot, they still have a chance to tie the game. And we'll see a change made by Grand Forks Central's Tyson Vanier will come back into the matchup. Vanier averaging 4.3 rebounds per game, and they want him on the floor for rebounding purposes. Baumgartner's second foul shot is good. The game is a three-point game. 64-61. I'm assuming Central's got to be thinking about a three-point shot here to try to tie the game. I don't know if they want to play the two-possession game down the stretch. Shot clock is on just barely. It's like a second differential or less. Delorme looking for a screen, getting one from Vanier, driving, pulling up off the shot, and he'll be fouled on a three-point shot. Pulling up on a three-point shot and fouled out of the top of the key. Well, the drama's going to continue in this one. That'll be the fourth against Jacob Kraft. And we'll see Delorme going to the foul line with a chance to tie the basketball game with 14 seconds. First on the way from Delorme is good. 24 points tonight for Braden Delorme. Cuts it to a 64-62 advantage. Second, good. It's a one-point game. 64-63. And Delorme now with a chance to tie the basketball game. It's on the way, and it's good. This game is tied. Timeout taken by Fargo Shanley. It'll be a 30. So the Deacons will call for timeout with the game tied at 64 and 14 seconds remaining. Again, stick with us. We'll have our highlights coming up in our post-game report tonight. This has turned into an excellent basketball game. Couple of teams just with 2 wins apiece. 2 wins in the league for Fargo Shanley, none for Grand Forks Central in the league so far. We showed you earlier tonight, drive for the title. The standings coming into tonight. You see Central on the bottom of your screen, 0-6 in the league. Shanley 2-4. Central 2-8 overall. Shanley 2-7. Each team looking at this as a tough game. Each team looking at this as a winnable game. Shanley sprinted out to a 22-8 lead tonight, including a 9-0 run after going behind 2-0 to start the game. Central ties it on 3 foul shots from Braden Delorme to give him a 26-point night tonight. 64-64, 14.3 seconds left. Shanley with the basketball. The held ball arrow belongs to the Deacons. Inbounds pass comes into Kraft. Kraft will step across on the near side of the floor. 10 seconds. Kraft stepping out on the left sideline. Works his way back to the center of the floor. Baumgartner setting some screens. 3 on the clock. And the 3 is good from the top of the key by Kraft at the horn, with a potential game winner from Jacob Kraft, who right now has scored his 16th point. The clock is run out. They'll have to reset the clock. They'll likely put about a second and a half on it. Ice water in your veins on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Kraft taking plenty of time. Doesn't get a great look at it either. It's a step back. He didn't get square. Hit it anyway. What a shot. Just an absolute clutch shot. And they'll put 0.8 of a second on the board for Central to work with. Jacob Kraft with 16 points on his 4th 3 tonight. And the three-point line has been huge for Fargo Shanley tonight. They have 5 in the second half. They knocked down 6 in the first half tonight. Grand Forks Central has hit a total of 6 threes tonight. 11 three-point shots for Fargo Shanley this evening. Grand Forks Central with 6. And that's how Shanley has reversed the advantage of Central at the foul line tonight. So 0.8 of a second left. And we'll see what Central can do with 0.8 of a second. You wouldn't even know who it is that you put on the floor with a chance to hit something from distance. But you know that Delorme isn't going to take the ball out. That's about what you know at this point. Tyson Vanier will come over to inbound the basketball for Central. 0.8 of a second, not a lot of time. Time to turn and shoot. Now Shanley will take a timeout as well. They took a look at what Central put on the floor, and now they want the opportunity to put together a defense that will counter it. We're back at it coming up on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we've got a heck of a matchup. We're going to be traveling to Moorhead, Minnesota on Tuesday night. The first time in 30 years that Grand Forks Central and Moorhead will play in high school hockey. They've signed a 2-year deal, home and home. Central will play at Moorhead this year. Moorhead comes to Central next year. We'll have that for you coming up on Tuesday night here on KNOX Live Sports, and we'll have more as well. East Grand Forks, I believe, is in action that night against Thief River Falls. Still 4-3 down at Farmers Union Insurance Rink in the third period. Central has outshot Davies tonight 38-12 in that matchup, but they lead by just 1 goal. Hard to fathom that situation. But they are late in the third. Fargo Davies took a penalty with 15:30 in the third period. So the Knights may be on the doorstep of winning that matchup. I don't believe it's gone final as of yet. 0.8 of a second. Vanier to inbound the basketball, running on the baseline, and the ball just slipped out of his hands. A baseball throw by Bossert at the horn comes up empty, and Shanley survives. Your final score on the All-True scoreboard tonight will be Fargo Shanley 67, Grand Forks Central 64. The Knights fall to 2-9. Shanley improves to 2-8. Shanley's 3-4 in the league. Central will fall to 0-7. Post-game report with our highlights on the way in just moments. This is our coverage of high school basketball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. We're back with more next.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX post-game show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school basketball tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports this evening from Grand Forks Central High School, where the night belongs to Fargo Shanley tonight, and a fantastic matchup between Shanley and Central. Shanley with a 3 inside of a second left to go in regulation wins it tonight by a final score of 67-64 over Grand Forks Central. Ryan Cunningham with you. Luca Carpenter had our videography work that we had for you tonight as we roll into our post-game report tonight, brought to you by Spring Advantage and brought to you tonight by the Ski and Bike Shop. Well, a tough one tonight for Grand Forks Central. They fall behind 22-8 to start the game. They came back, they tied it on a couple of different occasions and had some opportunities where things just wouldn't quite fall their way to try to open it up a little bit further. Got some big nights and a couple of big spots, including 26 points from Braden DeLorme. But as it turns out, Dan Carlson telling us about the shooting ability of Fargo Shanley, and he was 100% right about that. Their leader, Tommy Baumgartner, finishes with 20. Fargo Shanley hits 11 three-point shots on the night, including 4 from Jacob Kraft, and that included the game winner that they had tonight. And Grand Forks Central is nipped on their home floor by Fargo Shanley tonight by a final score of 67-64. Well, let's take you through our post-game highlights that we had for tonight. And our highlights brought to you tonight by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent. We get started in the opening half. This was Fargo Shanley getting things going early. That's the start of the night from Tommy Baumgartner, a 3 early part of a 9-0 run for the Deacons as they came back to take a nice lead and led, of course, by a score of 22-8. Central trying to find their way into the comeback. Braden DeLorme on the start to his 26-point night. He hits a big 3-point shot from the top of the key, trying to eke Central a little bit further, and then DeLorme running a nice screen and roll with Carter Bossert. Bossert had a couple of nice plays inside tonight. Bossert scores there. Central in the comeback trail, they got back to within 5 in that opening half, but they'd fall behind by 8. A big night tonight for Sean Cutterba. He drains a 3 near the end of the opening half. It was an 8-point lead at the end of one tonight for Shanley. In the second half, Grand Forks Central, again down by 9 to start things, trying to avoid going down double figures. There's the drive, score, and foul for Braden DeLorme. He'd complete the 3-point shot. Then later, with the game down to 2, Larson going inside, finding Wolken, who would spin to the basket and score. As the game was cut to 2 at that point, the Deacons leading by 2 here, though. Big sequence. Cutterba stepping out for a 3 on the top of the key. He would cut the lead to 4, then put it back to 7 out of the left sideline. And here's the game winner back to the center of the floor. The Knights came back to tie it, and you see on the clock. And the 3 is good from the top of the key. 3 seconds left to go. That was the eventual game winner in the matchup. And the Knights are beaten tonight by a final score of 67-64. Let's give you our post-game summary with Who Lit the Lamp tonight as our post-game report continues. Brought to you by Spray Advantage in the Ski and Bike Shop this evening. Who Lit the Lamp is brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. 26 points tonight for Braden DeLorme is your game high this evening for Grand Forks Central. 15 for Carter Larson, 13 came after halftime. Caden Jonas hits 3 threes for 9 points tonight. Carter Bossert with 4, 3 for Landon Walken, 3 for Tayshawn Scott, who played well but just didn't finish a couple of baskets. Tyson Vaniel with 2. But Fargo Shanley does what they do, 4 in double figures, led by Tommy Baumgartner's 20. 16 tonight for Jacob Kraft. Sean Cutterba with 13, 3 threes to go with that. And Michael Holcroft knocks down 10. 6 points for Jacob Perkarovich tonight. Landon Mitchell finishes with 2. And that is Who Lit the Lamp tonight, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. 26 for Braden DeLorme leads the way this evening for Grand Forks Central in a 67-64 defeat by the hands of Fargo Shanley. When we come back on our post-game report, I believe we've got a final down in Fargo tonight between the Knights and the Eagles. Let's get to that, and we'll come back with our Player of the Game award and our finest cover of the game tonight as well. We continue with our coverage of high school basketball next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens.
At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
This is the KNOX post-game show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school basketball tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Our final score this evening is 67-64. Fargo Shanley with the victory tonight over Grand Forks Central, and the Deacons will grab a hard-fought win to move to 3-4 inside the conference, and Central drops to 0-7. Our post-game report brought to you again this evening by the Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure awaits, and also brought to you tonight by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. Well, let's go to an all-true scoreboard update before we wrap up tonight. I believe they've gone final, and they have, down at Farmers Union Insurance Center in Fargo, and Grand Forks Central gets another test from Fargo Davies. Davies came in and gave Central their only blemish in the league. It was a tie in regulation and an overtime win for Central the first time around, 3-2. This time it's 4-3. Grand Forks Central gets the victory. No scoring in the third period. Central outshot Davies 42-14. Davies gets a really nice night. And that's one of the things that Fargo Davies will have to throw at you is their goaltending throughout the course of the year. Brecken Metcalf's one of the better ones that you're going to find out there. He made 38 saves in that matchup tonight, in Grand Forks Central does come away, though, with a victory by a final score of 4-3 to stay unbeaten in the Eastern Dakota Conference in that matchup tonight down at Farmers Union Insurance Center. Here, final score 67-64, three-point shot at the horn tonight for Jacob Kraft, ends up winning it. For those of you just coming back on our post-game report, brought to you by Spring Advantage and the Ski and Bike Shop. Again, a look at how it ended tonight in the final seconds. A tie ball game at 64 apiece. Jacob Kraft for Fargo Shanley, not square, falling away. Somehow got the three-point shot to go down, and that was the eventual game winner tonight for Fargo Shanley, getting the victory here this evening. Let's take a look at our player awards that we have for you tonight. First of all, our Player of the Game award brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for painless shopping. And when it's time for a new garage door, you can find the make and model that you're looking for at PS Garage Doors. Easy choice tonight. Braden DeLorme, 26 points this evening, 15 in the first half. Finishes with 26 for the night, 3 threes. A beautiful night from the foul line as well. He ends up 5 of 6 from the foul line in the first half, 4 of 5 in the second half, so 9 of 11 for the matchup from the foul line and 3 threes. 26 points tonight for Braden DeLorme, and he picks up that award this evening. Our Finest Auto Trim, Finest Cover of the Game is brought to you tonight by Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all. Finest Auto Trim specializes in recovering vehicle, boat seats. If it's time to get those boat seats refurbished before ice out next year, now's the time to get that boat to Finest Auto Trim so they can do the work now and you can enjoy the boat as soon as the water becomes open. And if you've got a hot rod project that you're getting ready for the upcoming summer, well, they can help you with the interior on that as well. Finest Auto Trim, big or small, they cover it all this evening. And, you know, there's a few different places that this one could go tonight when it comes down to the defensive award. But when you start looking for second chance opportunities, you start looking at rebounding opportunities tonight for Grand Forks Central. Tyson Vanyo got in and really did a nice job rebounding the basketball tonight for the Knights. Tyson Vanyo will pick up that award tonight for his rebounding prowess. He'll pick up the Finest Auto Trim, Finest Cover of the Game. And our final award tonight, Northland Community and Technical College has teamed up with KNOX Live Sports to stamp out hunger in our region with points against hunger. And tonight it's threes against hunger. Grand Forks Central raising money for every 3-point shot they hit here on the basketball court. For every 3 that's knocked down tonight, Northland Community and Technical College will donate $1 to the Pioneer Food Pantry in East Grand Forks to try to stamp out hunger in our region tonight. Well, Braden DeLorme knocked down 3 3-point shots this evening, and so did Caden Jonas, knocking down 3 threes. 6 3-point shots tonight for Grand Forks Central. That means $6 will be donated tonight to the Pioneer Food Pantry on behalf of Northland Community and Technical College. Get your start on that liberal arts degree that can open up so many career paths at Northland Community and Technical College. Look them up online or stop and see them right in your backyard in East Grand Forks. And that'll do it for our coverage of Central Knights basketball tonight. Again, next week we've got a big week. Thief River Falls will play Red River. Thief River Falls will play East Grand Forks in hockey. Central goes on the road to take on Moorhead coming up next week on Tuesday night. High school hockey, first time in 30 years. We'll have it for you here on KNOX Live Sports coming up on Tuesday night, so join us for that. Luca Carpenter has had our videography work this evening. We appreciate him being along with us tonight. Your final score on the All True scoreboard: Shanley 67, Central 64. This is our coverage of high school basketball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. So long, everybody.